Today, we're gonna look at the subreddit askreddit, where the Reddit community asks questions for other Redditors to answer. If you're new around here, please do hit the subscribe button so you never miss out on another video. But for now, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. People who ordered Belle Delphine's bathwater. Why? Because I ran out of Gamer Girl Pee, trademark. If it was $10, maybe I would buy some just to stick on a shelf with my myriad of other really weird shit people sell on the internet. But at $30, I'll pass. I really want to see a serious answer. For me, the most incredibly desirable person in the world could be in a tub where I could dip the water out myself so I know it was from their bath, and I'd still not buy it. I'd definitely look, but the bathwater just seems ugh. And Belle's most likely was never part of a bath of hers anyway. This is the weird type of shit that makes me feel better about the money I've spent on shoes and Steam sales. That's a little weird. I just sniff chairs when an attractive lady gets up from the chair and leaves like a normal person. I have lots of ideas. I have 3 on the way, and my plans are as follows. The first jar I will drink. I'll try to sip slowly, but I'll probably end up overcome with lust and chugging it. Looking forward to this, and I'm about to explode just thinking about it. The second jar I will reduce and attempt extracting her essence. I will heat the water in a beaker to 80 degrees Celsius, near boiling, and breathe in the steam, letting it coat my lungs with her moist goodness. I'll gradually bring it to a simmer and observe carefully. Hopefully, after the water boils away, I'll be left with a thin layer of her gunky goodness on the bottom of the beaker. This I will scrape off and probably use to season my food, so that the essence of her beautiful gamer girl feet and possibly even her vajayjay infuse my meal with her magical delight. Of course, I will also try her extract on its own. I expect a medley of sweet bodily residue that will undoubtedly change my life forever, as I'll have officially tasted a female. The third jar I'll keep for emergency. I know it will be a while before another order is available, so I'll attempt to hold myself off from drinking or reducing it for as long as possible. But there's no way of knowing how long I'll last. I just hope that she made the necessary preparations for this first shipment. Hopefully she opted out of showering for at least a few days before creating her intoxicating brew, and also engaged in vigorous activity beforehand. My hands have been shaking ever since I've ordered it, and I'm sure I won't sleep until they've come in. My wife used to sell used lingerie under a fake social media account. She says she just put her gym socks in the same box as a bunch of cheap bulk-ordered lingerie so they wouldn't smell new, and sold it to guys online. She says most of the customers were mid to late 20s guys with obvious intimacy deprivation. They were the romantic and sexual equivalent of the volleyball named Wilson from Castaway. A very tragic talismanic substitute for real human contact and intimacy. They believe that no woman will ever touch them, so having something that's touched a woman is the next best thing. The worst part is that it's against health codes to sell anything like that, so in reality, even their sad substitute for real human contact probably never actually touched another human, except for when it was dropped into the envelope. Because people are buying it ironically. Haha, dude, isn't this hilarious? I got that bathwater. Haha, I'm gonna post it on Twitter. Haha. What they don't realize is an ironic dollar can be spent just like a real dollar, and the girl is making bank. Other streamers will pick up on it, and eventually there's gonna be a website dedicated to the marketplace of female streamers' bathwater. I would like to point out that this of all things was deemed necessary as a disclaimer. Disclaimer, this water is not for drinking and should only be used for sentimental purposes. Why, God, why? Why have you forsaken us? I want to try and break gamer girl water down for people, coming from someone who had a dark time in my life where I might have been tempted to buy some gamer girl bathwater. It's easy to say, oh, she's just tricking idiots out of their money, but it's a little more complicated than that. When you're approaching your mid to late 20s and still haven't enjoyed a healthy and intimate relationship, it really does start to fuck with you on a scary level. Mental illness, depression, anxiety, and such seem to be much more prevalent nowadays since it's so easy to get quick-fix social interaction through the internet. The internet is amazing, but it doesn't make you better at actually being a social human being in real life. You get guys who had quick and easy access to 100 friends on MSN, AIM, Skype, Discord, Telegram grow increasingly dependent on online interactions for their social needs. I can confirm it gets to the point where you just don't even really want real interactions anymore because Pornhub handles your libido, Twitch gives you someone to listen to, instant messaging gives you people to talk to, etc. The only thing missing is the sexual, physical touch of a woman, and there's a part of you that might think that water that's touched your Twitch crush will satisfy that. It won't, of course. The way that the most popular YouTubers and Twitch streamers interact with their audience is that of being a friend, family, or lover. How many streamers call their viewers some kind of pet name, like the streamer name Family or the streamer name Army? When your livelihood comes from donations and views, you need to be especially charismatic. The biggest names in online video makers always talk directly to their audience. They look into the camera, they call you their friends and family, they want you to hang out with them at conventions, and they want to hear your comments. They want to read your messages in chat, they offer life advice, they tell you they care about you, they tell you they're thankful for you, they want you to take care of yourself, and oftentimes they'll open up their soul and talk about their lives to you. It's all about charisma and being a good host, and it's a great talent to have. For people in the previous point, this can actually be super harmful. You spend enough time in their streams and watching their videos, and you really do start to subconsciously believe that Markiplier, PewDiePie, and Summit are your friends. Obviously, it's not the case, but there was a time in my life where some of my favorite YouTubers were appearing in my dreams and were asking me to hang out, and my brain didn't even question that it was something we just did all the time. I recall a few years ago, some kids and their mom showed up to a famous Twitch streamer's address and were confused as to why he felt that was a breach of privacy. They expected to hang out with him, get autographs, play games with him, and all around expect that he'd be thrilled to see them. Obviously, this is a huge breach of boundaries, and perfectly sane people just forget that these people don't have a one-to-one friendship with them. When you're 25 plus and haven't had meaningful relationships with women, either romantic or otherwise, you start to get weird ideas about what women are, especially if you talk to the wrong groups. When you get to the point where you've craved intimate love and never had it for over 10 years, you start getting weird ideas. Some men lash out at women and get incelish. Some men put women on these pedestals as divine trophies to be won. Some men just assume that women will never like them. But the longer you go without ever knowing love, the easier it is to think of women as being a totally different species. When every woman you've ever known either hates video games or are casual novice gamers at best, meeting a woman who seems to idolize gaming as much as you do triggers volatile emotions. Sometimes it comes in the form of disdain and skepticism and end up making a toxic environment for women in gaming. If not that, it comes out as excessive idolization. You're at a point in your life where any woman who would even pay attention to you is a dream, and the thought of a girl who would share your favorite hobby with you may as well be the second coming of Christ. You crush on her hard, you buy all her merch, you send her donations so that she'll start to recognize your name and tell you thank you and read your messages. I'm not saying that women shouldn't be allowed to be successful gaming streamers, but I do think that taking advantage of clinically depressed and lonely fans like this is awful. This whole selling bathwater thing to thirsty fans may seem like memes and trolling, but in reality, it's just highlighting a very, very sad reality. There's guys out there who would buy this in a futile attempt just to feel closer to the one girl that ever paid them any attention. I was dangerously close to being one of those guys at one point, and I know just how scary the spiral goes. People on my path would either end up doing things like buying this bathwater or becoming misogynistic incels. It all sounds so stupid and pathetic, but it's a very true reality for some unfortunate guys suffering from severe depression.